Hello everybody and welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. On the last episode, we battled against McBurn at his full potentially, I think. In his true form. Anyway, he seemed to have remembered something, gave us some kind of one-time use power and dipped. But this should be it. Up ahead should lie our final destination on this journey that we've been on for 4 games. This is possibly the final episode too. I'm a little sad, but I'm kind of happy. But I won't be done with this after this. No. I've got stuff to do. Who? How? I have no idea how. Maybe I'm missing something on one of these cords, but why can I see everything?
We defeated McBurn, but the darkness seems even deeper now.
It's not your imagination. We're getting close to the twisted heart of this cursed empire.
Hey! Brighten up, you guys! We can do this!
Yeah, you're right!
Brave soul. You know, I never even looked to see what those were. Oh, it's the one that's the fool.
It's big. Let's be careful.
Heads up, that one means business.
Yeah, but it's also really slow. So it can mean as much business as it wants. But it's not gonna catch me.
Looks like a real tough one.
Ooh, a tough one!
Dragon incense. That should be the core. Huh. Oh.
So this is really it, huh?
Yes. Our final opponent awaits us just beyond this door.
Yeah.
Before we go, I want to say how proud I am of each and every one of you for making it this far.
Instructor.
Sarah?
You know, Class 7 started out as just a social experiment. It was made up of students from a number of diverse backgrounds who were all highly compatible with the Arcus units. But we didn't expect any of you would have backgrounds as crazy as Reen's or Emma's. This class far exceeded every expectation. I'm sure Prince Olivert and Principal Van Dyke couldn't have imagined you'd come this far. What's more, you guys became the closest group I've ever seen. You're all irreplaceable to each other. And even though they both had ulterior motives, when Milliam and Crow joined, they fit right in too. But it didn't end there. We got a new generation of members under Reen's guidance. The final pieces of Class 7. Yuna, Kurt, Altina, Ash, and Muse. As your guys' former homeroom teacher, I guess what I want to say is... Class 7 is the best there is. Not that there was any doubt.
Man, I wasn't ready for that.
The best there is, huh? I seem to recall a certain someone saying that before the trial at the old schoolhouse.
And yet the words carry so much more weight now.
Wait, seriously? I thought I was being original there.
Yep. Word for word.
Oh yeah, that was the one time you didn't come with us.
Heck, even I was there for that one. Wait a sec. If you weren't there, how'd you become a secondary contractor with the rest of us?
That's a fair point, actually. You never took part in the trial. Yet somehow you've been linked to Valimar this whole time.
How perplexing.
Hey!
Huh.
Is that your guys' whole takeaway?
Well, when you think about it, the 5 of us are the same.
Maybe the important part is the feeling that you belong in Class 7.
And most of all, the way the Awakener, Instructor Reen, thinks of you.
As far as I'm concerned, Instructor Sarah's always been one of us.
So basically you're saying she's no different from a bunch of high schoolers.
Now, maybe it just means she bonds so well with her students she starts acting like one.
I try to give an uplifting speech and this is the thanks I get? Come on. You guys just can't give me a break, can you?
No.
We're just joking.
No.
But jokes aside, that's just what we needed to hear.
Thank you, Instructor. It truly means a lot.
Glad to hear it. All right, Reen. You know what to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, time for our real speech.
I'll keep this short. All we have left to do is prove our strength and determination. What awaits us beyond this door is the cause of everything. The source of the curse, and its final rivalry. And with it, Erebonia's most influential chancellor, the reincarnation of a legendary emperor. Shouldering the fate of the continent would be daunting to almost anyone. But we're Class 7, the best there is. We can do this. It's time. Let's destroy this curse once and for all, and light the way to a brighter future for the whole world. Right.
Let's do this. And upon entering this door, the final segment of the story will commence. You will no longer be able to go back and complete any unfinished optional content. We already can. All your party members will take part in this battle. They will be divided into 3 groups. Make sure all your characters are properly equipped. I mean, they're as equipped as I can actually get them, to be fair. I don't have the resources to push them much further than what they're at. So, Technically, yeah, they are. I guess the only one I can really change would probably be Lisa's. I'd rather give the action one to Sarah. As for this, I'll give her the Braille Thesis. Actually... Oh, nah. For you, my friend... There's that. Let's just give you HP so you can take more of a hit. That'll do it. Let's begin. Create 3 teams, A, B, C. Each will attack in order. Well, first off, my final team is still going to be the ones that I enjoyed having with me the most. And then for then we have these guys. Where are you at? Where 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 you at? Oh yeah, you know. There you go. If I have Elisa, I don't need to have Elliot as much. Problem there comes from let's keep them out there, and let's put look, the thing is, I still want to have Ash in front because he's still got really good damage, and then Marcus is really tanky. The problem comes from, how do I want to set it up? Because I still want to be able to use Elisa too, but you know, there's not enough like in-battle party, and honestly, this is better for me. I guess I can always like switch Ash out and use Elisa to get everybody else what they need. But Marcus is should be able to use the same thing that Yuna has to give everybody their turn again. These two have a good cast, and then Altina still has her crafts. Kurt's basically Fee. I could mix things up entirely, but the final team is probably going to be the one that has to deal with the most. And I won't be able to like grab this stuff again unless... Plus, I don't want all my Lost Stars to be on one team. I'm thinking if I want to keep new Class 7 together. No, it should be fine. Plus, uses a shield might come in handy too.
Looks like this is it, man. Guess I better say it now. Thanks for everything. It's been a blast.
Crow. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're in this together. To the very end.
You said it.
So, you've come.
Of course. Ebon Awakener, Osborne the Iron-Blooded.
I suppose I should commend you for making it this far. You defeated my Ironbloods, the Anguish, the almighty Conflagration, and moreover, acquired the powers of the other knights. Those were no small feats.
It's true. Each battle pushed us to our very limit. I should have expected no less of those who chose to serve you.
Perhaps I may have gone a little overboard in my quest to fuel this fortress. But no matter. All the conditions have been met now. The beginning of the end is at hand. However, before that, Valimar, to me, bring the sword with you.
What? Oh, right. He was Valimar's previous Awakener, wasn't he?
Reen, what shall I do?
It's fine. You can come.
It's been a long time, Dracolos. Ah, my mistake. In this life, you were known as Gileath Osborne, correct?
Call me by any name you like. You have my thanks for looking after Reen. Moreover, it seems you've recovered your memories.
Indeed. I owe that to Leanne.
Yeah, and it's thanks to her I can do this now.
Ah, Millium. I'm glad we were able to talk like this once more. I will have to give my thanks to Leanne for both of you.
Yeah, she was a pretty incredible person. I'm glad to see you too, Gramps.
I welcome you as well, other members of Class 7. Alisa, Machias, Eustace, Elliot, Emma, Fee, Gaius, Muse, Celine, Ms. Valestine, Laura, Kurt, Black Rabbit, Yuna, and Ash. I must apologize to you three. But you, especially, Armbrust.
Ugh, where's this coming from? All I ever wanted was to settle the score for my grandfather. I might have taken it a bit too far, but then again, so did you.
Most definitely.
How can he be so calm?
He seems so composed and confident.
This is the kind of iron will that belongs to the greatest Chancellor and the Lionheart Emperor.
Not only that, but this man is also the Awakener of the Ebon Knight, and Instructor Reen's father.
Gileath Osborne. Even though I've known you're my father for some time, it didn't feel real until now. That's not to say I don't still consider Teo Schwarzer my father, after all he did for me.
I'm sure Teo would be happy to hear that. You are his son, just as much as you are mine. In the same way, you are both Lucia's and Kasha's son. Perhaps you could even be considered Leanne's son as well.
I suppose you may be right. We finally learned the truth about you, from glimpses of your past in the reflecting pool. We saw what the curse did to you. How you fell into Ishmelga's grasp. You became one with the Ebon Knight. Yet you managed to retain your personality, thanks to your iron will. In the end, you were the one who chose to become the Empire's enemy. The world's enemy. Our enemy.
We knew you'd stop at nothing to reach your goal. If we didn't step in to stop you, you would have destroyed the world without the slightest hesitation.
But I'm sure you didn't expect us to fight back so successfully with Mille Mirage and the Radiant Wings. No matter how the rivalries play out, we still have a chance of stopping the end.
Agreed. Radiant Wings in particular was a surprise even to me.
Yes, indeed. You've done well. In the last moments of my life as Dreikel's, I despaired for the future the curse would bring. Because of that, Leanne felt an unnecessary obligation to take things into her own hands. But seeing all of you here before me, it would seem my fears were unfounded.
We saw that blade at the Black Workshop. It's as if it was forged with all the malice in the world.
Sorta reminds me of the sword Milliam turned into. But at the same time, it's completely different.
This is another sword of the end, belonging to the Ebon Knight itself. Due to certain circumstances, however, it was unable to be used to slay the holy beast. Nonetheless, its power far surpasses any weapon this world has ever seen. Now then, shall we begin the final preparations?
By all means.
I command you, as Dreikel's Raisei Arno, he who built your foundation. Strike at me with everything you have. Show me the depth of your will, Thor's Class 7!
Yes, sir! Yes, Your Majesty!
You shall kneel at the foot of the lion!
Lightning, charge me up! Ah!
All right. Time to kick things up a notch. All right.
Initiate Omega Operation!
My turn. Showtime! There!
This one's mine!
Alright, let's see what we can do.
Yeah!
My turn. Moving out.
Yeah! Ha! This one's on the house.
Ready.
Locked and loaded. Fire away!
My turn. Too slow. My turn.
You're mine!
I got this. Ah!
Time to paint this town red. Gotcha! Up you go! Not a bad trick, huh? Eat this!
I don't know. I feel like I would prefer a full battle. Because if I'm right, when we get to this point, we'll switch characters.
didn't expect to relish this so.
Light the way! Noble Arc!
Let's go. Prepare yourself. Shatter. It's down.
They're mine! It's my turn! Take this! Wide open!
It's mine!
Yes!
Lost start. Frozen in pooch. I think that's how you say it.
I'll support you.
Aw.
Thanks for
I
the
mean,
help.
you get to use Altina. How does he have this much power, though?
This is far from finished, young lions!
Alright, this makes this one the true end.
Pow! Divine Dragon Formation!
Roar!
Helix Strike!
That
I'll
still
handle this.
shouldn't...
My turn. Sneaking mission, start.
My turn.
It shouldn't be possible for that to not crit.
Right.
That makes sense, even though it's just annoying.
Let's go.
So what, 4 turns where I didn't get a crit?
An opening.
3 really.
It's my turn!
Roar!
Helix Strike! Now!
Attack. Let's go. Right. Now.
It's mine! Got it. Ready? Ha! Ha! You're done! Yes! Now!
An opening!
I'll handle this. It's off balance.
It's mine! Got it. Yeah. It's down!
An opening.
I'm up! It's down!
Attack! Yes! Yeah! My turn. Sneaking mission, start. Yes!
Oh, that was unexpected.
Prepare yourselves! My blood boils with excitement!
Ooh, I like that art.
Black Lions! Roar!
I'll handle this.
I don't think that's enough to push Reen's, oof. Let's see what happened.
Thanks. Thank you.
What? It didn't cancel
It's
it?
my turn!
It didn't cure that effect. Alright.
Yeah!
It's my turn!
Ha!
Let's go.
Triumph! Avalon Heart!
Got it.
So the severed link is uncurable.
Thank you.
There!
Even with a cure-all, which cures even Reen's berserk state and McBurn's flame.
Got it. Now!
An opening!
It's my turn! Eternally flow. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form.
First! Second! Third! Fourth! Fifth! Sixth! Seventh! 8 leaves! Luminous Abyss!
Let's go!
Thanks.
I thought Reem was gonna go berserk on the last turn, so but he didn't.
Form
He
is
still had one more
emptiness.
turn. I didn't realize.
Emptiness is form.
Might as well.
First! Second! Third! Fourth! Fifth! Sixth! Seventh! 8 leaves! Luminous Abyss! Most impressive.
Oh, it's the whole palace.
It's ready. The time has come.
The time for the 7 fragments of power to clash and become whole again. Now they will vie for control over the reformed Great One, the being which holds the infinite power of 2 Septarians.
Come, Ordine!
Master, wait!
together!
We had planned for the final rivalry to take place once the war below had reached its climax. It's too early. We must wait another day at the very least. Otherwise, there won't be enough energy. The Reformation will be incomplete.
It's fine, Alberic. There is more than enough strife in the world to suit our needs. Some battles begin long before any blood is shed. And this is no different.
You're exactly right.
Let's get this over with.
Right behind you!
We'll provide support. Thanks, guys.
I see he was still reeling from his wounds.
Hold nothing back. You must face me with all the strength you can bring to bear, all your determination, the entirety of your potential. If you do not, I, Gilead Osborne, will bring all you know to ruin.
You asked for it.
Alright.
I promise I'll fight you with every last fiber of my being.
Victory in the 5th rivalry has boosted Velamar's speed. Oh, it definitely did. He's faster now. He's about what he would have been if I had kept, well, a little behind if I kept the course on. It went up by like 15. Because they take part, I can't use them how I would have wanted to. I'm still gonna keep them on here. And, I like Sarah's, but the problem with hers is once you get halfway, it doesn't affect them anymore. So it becomes kind of useless. I think that'll work. She'll raise their defenses, and then that'll let them move fast. This will let him move faster, and this will give me that's a physical reflect. I'm actually gonna switch them so that it's an all reflect. Ah, wrong button, wrong one. I don't know. There, that way it's an all reflect.
The time has come to settle this!
You can use Primordial Flame you receive from McBurn by pressing the button. It's an item. Ultimate Recovery item cures all status abnormalities, including KO. Restores all HP, EP, and grants plus 200, grants CP plus 200 and BP plus 7. Use it when the time is right.
I'm up!
Ha! I appreciate it!
Alright!
Alright!
Okay, that's a guard spot. Of course, it's gonna unbalance me.
It's my turn!
That stance for the other one was here, and that's just bad.
Flame!
blind and burn. How does blind work in a Divine Knight battle?
All right.
They're down! You're wide open!
It's my turn! Ha! Wide open, they're mine!
It's my turn!
It's down and opening!
Here I go! Yeah!
Heaven flames to me!
Moving out.
What?
It's my turn!
So it's just low efficiency across the board on that one. Fine. I won't rely on it then.
Here I go! Take this! Wide open! Alright, everyone ready?
Leave it to me!
Get back! Too easy!
It's my turn.
Yeah!
Moving out.
Darkness, sunder them! They're down! You're wide open!
The end is nigh! Burn away in a blaze of glory! Too easy!
Of course. He always unbalances us.
To the true power of the heaven!
Well, not even just him. I always unbalance us. Right when I don't want them to.
Return to dust!
Of course, that took unit down. That's the one that I didn't want to get hit.
I'm up!
Because I knew it was gonna kill her.
I appreciate it!
Leave it to me.
All right.
Spirit!
Here I go! There!
Let's go!
Spirit! You won't escape! Perish!
It took all of their EP, by the way.
Spirit!
Heaven flames to me! Too easy!
Let's go!
You know what? I pretty much had it about up to here with you. And the unbalancing.
All right.
I mean, I get it. But the frequency in which you unbalance me is absurd.
It's my turn.
Recharge!
Yes, I'll restore you.
It's like every hit. I don't know if they have different conditions. And I don't have enough CP by 2 points. No, he can't heal without the item at this point. Because he took all our EP.
Thanks!
And Crow hasn't gotten... He keeps moving right after. He's moving really fast, and I'm getting tired of it. Wait a minute, you sucked on the Crow.
All right.
Again, I don't have enough CP.
Let's go.
He has just ridiculous. Did he heal? I think he healed. And there's no way I can give him EP, so I can't even impede this. I just have to block.
Ready. This'll help.
Acropose blade!
And of course, it unbalanced.
Too easy.
Because why would it not unbalance every time we get hit?
I got you!
I'm getting a little pissed. I'm about to stop caring. First off, I'm tired of you not having any CP.
I'm up.
And I have to block with them.
Acropose blade!
It's my turn. You can't escape. Fire!
There, now you can't do that same move again.
I'm up! There!
Of course it unbalanced. It doesn't ever not. I've spent more time healing than I've been able to do anything else.
It's my
And
turn.
I mean that literally. I haven't been able to attack for the most part.
Too easy.
You know the worst part about that? I'm watching the turn order, and he's just gonna get to move again. Skip. This is a really long one.
I need to do something. Spirit! Here I go! Spirit!
Let's go.
Yeah. Thanks. You won't escape. Perish.
At least it didn't fill on my EP.
Leave it to me. All right.
Spirit.
Let's go.
Spirit. Evan flames to me. Too easy.
Yeah. That was more than half my health. I swear, I hate him right now. Not because of any like difficulty, because of how fast he keeps moving and the frequency of unbalance.
Evan flames to me.
Like I just can't get hit without guarding.
All right.
Because if I do, I'm gonna get unbalanced. she's probably dead now. Yeah.
Why? No.
Because I had to impede, otherwise he would have hit everybody.
All right. Darkness.
No.
They're down. Let's do it, Green.
Leave it to me!
Union Slash! Deadly Formation!
Leave it to me.
Moving out.
I appreciate it.
No, he didn't unbalance me for once.
It's my turn.
Yeah, that makes sense. He doesn't have any, I'm not even gonna bother with it.
Yeah!
I appreciate it. Here I go. There.
My turn. I got you.
Here I go. Here's a pick-me-up.
I had to use charge because I can't block without CP. Huh, I didn't get unbalanced this time. Not like it's gonna matter when he gets an attack right away.
Yeah!
I appreciate it.
It's my turn.
Recharge!
Yeah.
It's my
You
turn.
can't tell, he's just getting on my nerves.
There.
I wouldn't say that he's...
All right.
I wouldn't say he's difficult right now. I'd say he's just annoying because of how fast he keeps getting his turn.
Here's a pick-me-up.
You won't escape! Perish!
What did he drain?
Too easy!
Let's go!
Now, bring it on! Evan Flames to me! Take this!
Please.
It's down! An opening!
Leave it to me. This'll help.
Moving out.
Darkness, sunder them!
The speed.
Now,
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That long S-craft. Follow.
Right.
Yes, you're getting on my nerves with this.
Spirit.
It's my turn.
Spirit!
Here I go. There.
Too easy!
You see? That's my problem!
Acropose Flame!
We're not even inflicted with speed down. He's just that fast. You don't get the chance to defend.
This bites.
Spirit!
And he does a lot of damage.
Here I go.
If I had a chance to defend, it wouldn't be a problem. But he's so fast, I don't get that chance.
There.
Jesus.
Let's go.
Recharge!
I'm not even gonna bother, because I have to get myself up. I'm taking CP. followed by another turn to an instant cast.
Too easy.
So all the healing I just did
Ready.
just was rendered pointless because he got so many turns back to back that it just pretty much took all of it.
All right.
I got you.
Yes, yes.
Too easy.
Here I go! Spirit!
It's my turn.
I wish I could use the seal just to at least get one turn. I think I might actually be able to if he doesn't have that stupid thing on him. Looks like it's just all stats are up. I might actually be able to use it.
I'm up.
No. No, I can't. Yep. And then Crow gets sealed again. That's
Here's
fair.
a pick-me-up.
I have to spend all my time healing. It's actually rather annoying.
Too easy.
It's my turn. Spirit!
I think the worst part is he's so fast, you can't... Reen has no impedes. His best impede is basically a seal. In Divine Knight battles, in like actual Divine Knight battles, they become immune to it. So, I can't seal them. The other problem here is... there's no items that restore EP for Divine Knights. You just can't. So when you have to use all those turns to get EP back so that you can heal, when the enemy is fast enough, they can just focus on one person and take them out before you can even get a turn to do anything about it. He could have took Yuna out at the very beginning of the battle. He just would have had to attack her twice. Plus, when this thing started, he's too fast. He's getting way too many turns before people can act. I've never seen somebody move this quickly. And Reen doesn't have any sort of impede. He does nothing to stop an attack. You cannot defend another one. So if they're about to die, the best thing you can do is throw an item so that they have enough health to survive it. You can't protect them in any other way.
Recharge! Too easy.
Plus, he always seems to unbalance. It's been very few times that he hasn't.
Darkness.
But I'm gonna stop him right there. No.
Ready.
I wish Million would have got to act a little faster than that.
My turn.
Because now I have to use the item to heal Rain.
Thanks.
All right.
If Million could act faster, I could have just healed. But,
Take that.
Too easy.
right, because blind. So now she missed.
Too easy.
I'm up. Yeah.
Moving out.
Darkness. Sunder them.
I was really hoping for the unbalance there.
Get back.
Here I go.
He instantly recovers. I swear to God.
Here's a pick-me-up. Yes, Spirit.
I hate when they instantly recover. The point of me to break you is to stop your attack. You should not be able to instantly recover. He didn't even lose the buffs. It's like the worst cases. Jesus Christ.
Moving out.
You're getting on my nerves, I swear.
They're down!
You just die already.
Leave it to me!
Jesus, he's getting too fast for this. I feel bad for anybody who doesn't have the resources to get these the final gems, because they are expensive, and I don't think with the amount of damage and speed that he has, you're not winning without them, especially on higher difficulty like hard and nightmare. I just can't see it. Because he's way too quick. It probably wouldn't be a problem. Maybe if I use the speed gem, it would make a lot of difference.
The power of the final rivalry.
But yeah, Jesus, he's fast.
This is it then.
They vanished!
Screw the rivalry! Let's go after him!
Ordine, let's fly!
As you command.
Man, he's just really quick.
Now, Reen, this is where it all ends. There is no turning back for you any longer. You know that, yes?
I do. I'm also aware that my role as the sacrifice was nothing more than a backup plan. Even so, I will put everything I am into this sword.
Reen. Okay, I'm gonna do everything I can too.
Thank you, Milliam.
The 8 leaves 1 blade, and 104 military combat. A clash between swordsmen, and our final act as father.
Oh, and don't get me wrong. No, I did enjoy the battle. It was a good fight. He's just way too fast.
Never having the opportunity to train you myself.
Well, maybe we'll get the chance another time. Someday, somewhere. But for now, prepare yourself, Gilead Osborne.
Then come, Reen Schwarzer.
The pale darkness!
Something's coming. It's... Reen! Yes! He did it!
Reen! You won!
I'm so relieved.
Seriously, you always have to make us worry to the very end, don't you?
Crazy bastard pulled it off.
Huh? Is something the matter, Crow? Wait, where's Milliam?
I'm right here.
Oh, don't scare me like that. The Ashen Knight has won. This should put an end to... Milliam? What's wrong?
I had a feeling this would happen.
Huh?
What do you mean?
How could it all have ended like this?
Father, what's going on?
I am not your father, and you will not see him ever again. This body was offered in service to the Ebon Knight. Thus, it shall vanish with it.
No, you can't.
Reen Schwarzer, you and your Ashen Knight have won. The fate of the world is in your hands. Do with it whatever you wish.
No, please. Then that must mean...
Hey, you want to fill us in on what's going on here?
Okay. This just might work. What do you think, Valimar? Can you make it?
Yes, all of the powers have converged in me. Breaking through the atmosphere should pose little trouble.
What?
You...
Breaking through the atmosphere?
No! It can't be!
You can't keep it under control any longer, can you?
The curse's true form. The endless malice of Ishmelga, the Ebon Knight.
That's right.
Relinquish it to me. It belongs to me. Your soul, your entire being. Yes. Yes.
So, this is it. The being that ate away at Emperor Drycles and my father. When the Ebon Knight was corrupted by Mouse, its logic system awoke as its own self-conscious entity. Evil personified. It sought to become an almighty being, controlling humanity by spreading its curse. But now, it's been torn from its physical form and brought to our plane. Making this my one and only chance to destroy it for good.
I know! What are you going to do?
There has to be another way! You bastard! Screw you! And screw your bullshit plan too!
Instructor! You're just joking, right?
No! No! It can't end like this!
Reen! Please, don't leave us!
What a cruel man you are.
We're coming with you. We kind of thought this might happen. But we're not gonna let you go it alone.
Seems like my time's running out too. Might as well go out with a bang.
Crow. Milliam. Alright. I guess this is just how it was meant to be.
Crow! Not you too.
Please! Don't go!
Milliam,
Sorry, guys. We gotta go now.
Take care of yourselves, everyone!
Don't worry. I promise we'll see each other again. Just be sure to tell everyone else goodbye for me. Thanks for everything, guys. I'm so grateful for all the time we shared together. Take care.
Rain!
Hey, you guys need to get it together.
He'll be back. I'm certain of it.
Yes. Together with Milliam and Crow.
He promised us, after all.
Yeah. This is our instructor we're talking about. No. Not just our instructor. He's Reen Schwarzer of Thor's Class 7.
Interesting. Not a fan. I don't know how he would come back from that. Kind of seems like he went kaboom. So that he can destroy the curse at its source, which is basically all of them. Well, mainly just like Reen and Malamar. Interesting. Interesting, very much so. But, what? I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. wonder how long these credits are. I also wonder if I can hit skip. Oh, I think I can. I like credits, but prerequisites for opening the path to no harm, blah blah blah. Complete the hidden quest in the last chapter and earn the blessing of a certain entity found outside the phantasmal fortress to unlock a new path after the final rivalry. You can restart after the battle against the Ebon Knight or before the battle against Osborne if save data is created here. Items used in the final battle other than Primordial Flame will not be recovered. I will question one thing, and that's the hidden quest that they mentioned. Can I even? Is it even possible to do that? Because it says to get the blessing from the hidden quest, which questions. I have many questions. So let's see. Because I knew there was something else afterwards. I knew there was like the epilogue or whatever. I don't know anything about it. Is that this? Note that without having earned the blessing of a certain being, you can only see the normal ending after the battle against the Ebon Knight. To reach the path of the unknown, restart from the moment before the final battle against Osborne. Go outside from the Imperial Fortress starting point. I was still reading that. Investigate the entrance. Hold on. Okay, I wasn't sure what we would be doing. Oh, before I do anything else, let me switch these. Because I'm gonna have to go back through that, and I want their speed. Also, I don't get any of those items back, so... Oh. So we need to go back to the entrance. I knew there was an epilogue. I didn't know what it was. So, what? There's a second path then. I think I just went the wrong places. Huh? There are talkie-talkies here. I think it brought me actually like to the entrance, like where I could just walk out and I went the other way. Basically, I think I went backwards. Yeah. I can see that.
My turn.
What's that? Is something there, or is it just my imagination? Just touching the vortex will disrupt the continuity of fate. Continuity of fate. You will be able to alter the past, albeit only to a small extent.
Now, go.
What's going on? Why do you always get in the way of my party creation? Who's calling? This is Schwarzer.
Nice. Looks like the connection went through.
Hey, Tobel. What's the hurry? Something to do with Operation Shining Steel? No, that's all according to plan. I'm calling about something else. What is it? You know what? You know that I've got connections on the Graal's Ritter, right? Well, its leader requested I look into something for them, independently from Thomas and Gaius. Devils whose appearance in Erebonia coincided with the onset of the Great Twilight. They're evil spirits from another plane. The 77 devils described in the scriptures. They're not creatures of this land like cryptids or magic knights. They shouldn't be responding to the Great Twilight in the same way. So what drove them all to start popping up all over the place? My investigation indicates that they may have been drawn to something specific. To those who possess a type of power they want to feed on. A spiritual power originating from Adios. You mean... Sorry, I don't know much more beyond that. However, this definitely changes things. There are all sorts of factions involved in this. You, Mattis, the Divine Blade of Wen, Yin, Bracers, and many others. Your efforts may help to take out plenty of regular devils already. But that hasn't been without certain side effects. You've been creating ripples in the fabric of fate. It's not something I discovered myself. I just heard about it from Kia and Beryl. Kia and Beryl? I think I'm beginning to understand it now. Took you a while, Reen. No, speak of the devil. Hey, Reen. Thanks for your help earlier. So, Tobel, Beryl, and I teamed up for this one. Tobel did the research, Beryl used her clairvoyance, and I worked my stuff. So now we have an idea of where to look. I see. That's right. Kia can sense the ebb and flow of fate. So, how did Beryl end up working with you on this? No need to get wrapped up in the details. Hear my final prophecy. Your duty calls to search what lies within the sacred shrine. Which, according to my findings, is somewhere in southwest Lamar. And I saw an emerald cradle in a vision. Got it. Thank you all. We've got to start our operation soon, but I'll try to look for the place, if I get an idea of where exactly it might be. We'll be looking for it too. As long as there's time left. Good luck, Reen. Well, may you be blessed in the afterlife. So I have 3 hints to go on. I should see if I can find the place. Huh? Question mark, question mark. Wait, you can't do that to me. What's going on? I noticed there's this black mist like before with Yuna in them. And there was nothing like this here before, was there? A new spirit shrine we haven't seen before? Could this be one of the holy shrines? A shrine in the southwest of Lamar, and an emerald cradle too. It fits the description, so why doesn't this feel right? Oh hey, so you guys came to check this out too. Oh, Tovo, what's up? Tovo, hey! Great minds instinct alike, I guess. The way I see it, this is the most likely candidate we've got. Since we're both here and all, how about we head inside together? I don't sense anything outright evil, but there's this overwhelming pressure I don't really trust. And this weird emptiness in the air feels familiar somehow. Sure, let's go. Its influence is pretty weak right now, and we might learn something. That's the spirit. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Maybe this was the hidden quest. Because it feels odd. Looks just like the other shrines. Yes, but I can sense a tremendous power waiting at its heart. It's not as vast as the other shrines though, is it? Judging from the echo, we're close to the end. Let's take a moment to make sure we're ready before going further. I've got your back if you got mine. Of course, same goes for me. Counting on you, Toval. Show us what one of the guild's top ornament users has to offer. Seeing an accomplished ornament user like your Toval is far from an everyday occurrence. I look forward to working together. What's this?
Welcome, little humans.
What? This is... Nameless Holy Beast of Earth.
My name is...
Argress.
It would appear that name has been lost after all.
I think they mentioned him earlier in the game then. I had a feeling we'd meet you here. The Holy Beast of Earth. 900 years ago, it absorbed half of the curse and sealed itself in the primordial grounds. In the primal ground. Our friend here falls into the same category as Rose, the Holy Beast of Fire. And this is the same beast that I destroyed when I lost control of my power and went berserk. That is in the past now. There is no need for apologies. Such is fate. But I am but an echo of the holy beast I once was. Leave me be. I intend to stay here until my last breath, as I bear witness to the great twilight smothering the world. That's horrible. You're the guardian of this place? 'Cause if so, how about some encouragement for our energetic youths who's been trying to eradicate the root of all evil? Toval. You're attempting what many might call impossible. But that too must be fate. Very well then. I'll consent to playing this game of yours. Huh? Prepare for battle, little humans. If you can defeat me, I'll show you the way to unravel fate, to remold destiny. Perhaps it won't amount to much in the end, but even a small glimmer of hope is worth clinging to. Hey, that's the Radiant Rings in a nutshell. Thank you for your generous offer. As a human, I can't imagine what the world of fate, I can't imagine what the world and fate are as seen through the prism of a of your centuries of experience. But if you're only going to help us if we can prove ourselves, then we'll do just that.
Excellent. Now, demonstrate to me the depths of your strength, your resolve, and your spirit. May my name, lost to darkness, be illuminated once more by the light shining in your hearts.
A worthy opponent.
Ooh, this should be fun. I wasn't expecting this. Well, this doesn't feel like an epilogue. I think this is that hidden quest.
Yeah.
No wonder I was like, where is... Because it's Tolval. I was like, where's...
Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First.
I meant to actually use feast just then, but I hit range.
Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. Eighth. Luminous abyss.
Wow.
Got it.
Quite the bulky opponent we've got here.
Sneaking mission, start.
I'll handle this. Triumph, Avalon Hearts! I'll handle this. Behold, the soul of Arsaid. Now! Radiant Phoenix Blade!
My turn. Ha! It's down!
An opening!
My turn!
To swap out.
It's up to you.
I'll handle the rest. Arcus, activate.
Got it. Yeah. Now!
An opening! It's my turn! Pow! Divine Dragon Formation! I'm up!
Supreme Helix!
Helix Strike! It's down!
It's mine!
Let's go! Huh. Now!
Attack! Weak. Yeah. Let's go. Got it. Ha!
Thanks.
Let's go.
Thank you.
I'm going. Arcus, activate.
Got it. Ready? Ha! Ha! You're done. Now.
Let's follow up.
An opening! I'm up!
Huh? Oh, sleep.
Shit! Now!
What, you can be put to sleep? Ow!
Now!
Attack! There!
Prominence Nova.
Let's go! Sneaking mission, start. Alright, let's do this. Now! Doink! Ha! Now, for the big finish! Lethal Crusade!
It's my turn.
Huh?
I'm up! Ha! Now!
It's mine!
Let's go! It's off balance!
Attack! There!
I beat it.
Well done. You have successfully severed the chains of fate.
Holy Beast verse Argress.
My name is Argress. I am the holy beast of Earth, created by Adios.
Ah. Whoa, we can understand his name now. Destiny has been rewritten? That must mean that things which were hidden to us are now revealed. Unbelievable.
The Ebon Knight once tainted me with its curse, and so I sealed myself away in the Grawl. Never did I think you would be able to triumph over me in that state. Perhaps this too was the Ebon Knight's... No. The strength of mankind's will may have exceeded even its expectations.
What? Wait, are you?
I expended the very last remnants of my power in our battle. Yet, that was a price well worth paying. I thank you for recovering my once lost name. As promised, I will show you the path you seek.
What's this?
It is my last shred of strength. The Earthen Prison. On its own, it cannot rival the Great Twilight. However, it should prove of some use to you. Fare you well, wings of radiant light, illuminating the twilit land below.
Toval, I owe you big time. The Holy Beast may be gone, but it looks like we completed the trials nonetheless. Oh, come on. I only helped a little bit. So, Earthen Prison. Any idea on how to use it or whatever it is? Not a clue. It doesn't seem like something we can use with orders. But I'm sure that when the time is right, I'll know what to do. In the meantime, though, we're on our own. All we've got is our power. That's a good attitude, Rain. Ah, well. That about takes care of everything I needed to do on land. Think I can catch a ride on your ship to my next destination? Sure, it's the least we can do. I'll call the Courageous 2 now. Like, nah, Toval, you're gonna have to walk it out. What just happened there? I remember hearing a voice. It made me feel nostalgic somehow. I wonder who it was. Strangely enough, I can't help but recall that time when... Anyways, I have a battle coming up that I should be focused on. Once I'm prepared, I'll need to head to that core station. Core section? Completing the trial of the Holy Beast of Earth has opened up the path to the unknown. You will be able to access it after the final rivalry. It didn't help our EP situation though, huh? Definitely, I guess you remember that, huh? It's fine though, because we'll just place this on as we go to the next destination. Everybody else looking up? Okay, it looks like everybody's back up.
My turn.
To the Sanctum. Hopefully, the speed will make a big difference here. Because that was my problem. He was just way too fast. I'll sacrifice power and my damage if it makes it where this is less annoying due to our speed. There's no turning back now. Let's go. I'll keep things how they were. But at least I know this time I can just nuke them. Yeah, I remember my team structure. So, I'm gonna skip this because we've already seen this fight. So, let's do this fight. Let's start the fight.
You shall kneel at the foot of the lion.
Lightning, charge me up! Ah!
All right. Time to kick things up a notch. Moving out. All right. Let's do this.
No more holding back.
Cleave my foes. See you in Gehenna. Fourfold Slayer.
I got this. It's time to get a little serious. Northern Lightning! That make you feel tingly?
He definitely seems to be taking less damage now.
Slash! Searing Bolt!
Sure. You're mine!
I make him stronger this time?
Leave it to me. Locked and loaded. Fire away!
My turn.
Yeah!
He definitely seems like he's tougher now.
There it is! Here's our chance!
You're wide open. Moving out. There!
This one's mine! Yeah!
Well, maybe not.
Sure.
Still doing pretty solid damage to him.
It's my turn.
This is it! You failed your inspection! One more! This is the end! Justice Bullet!
I didn't expect to relish this so.
Light the way! Noble Arc!
Prepare yourself! Shatter!
Here I go! Burning Heart!
Now. Stealth mode. Activate.
Yes! Ha! It's my turn! Ha! Take this! Wide open!
It's mine! My turn. Prepare yourself! Shatter!
That's if. Well, this doesn't move us to the next part. It should be a fair amount of damage, too. You know.
This is far from finished, young lions!
Wrong button.
Ha!
Thanks. Thank you. Let's go.
Let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Yeah!
My turn.
My turn.
It's delicious.
I'm up!
Triumph! Avalon Heart!
It's my turn! Eternally
Let's see how much we can
form is
do.
emptiness. Emptiness is form. First! Second! Third! Fourth! Fifth! Sixth! Seventh! 8 leaves. Luminous abyss!
It's my turn.
I'm a little disappointed with how much I've done.
Arcus, activate.
My turn. Behold, the soul of Arsaid! Now!
Alright, let's do this. Now! Join! Ha! Now, for the big finish! Lethal Crusade!
There!
It's my turn.
Thanks.
Answer my prayers and appear before us.
Come on, I've learned from last time. Even if I was to break him, he'd still do that.
Guardian shield. Elegant. A mirror gleaming in the darkness. Shine! Palace of Eregion!
None of my watch!
It wouldn't have mattered, but
Prepare
okay.
yourselves. My blood boils with excitement. Black lions, roar!
I'm up! Eternally flowing. Form
Might
is
as well.
emptiness. Emptiness is form. First. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. 8 weeks. Luminous abyss!
I'll handle this.
Impudence!
Let's go!
Thanks.
My turn. It's off balance.
Attack! Got it. Ha! It's down!
An opening! Let's go! It's down!
It's mine!
I'm going.
Now! An opening! My turn.
Most impressive.
I'm looking to see if there's anything different. I'm going to fast forward it a bit, because we've seen that. I'm not going to skip it, but I am going to fast forward a little bit. I should be able to tell they're really
Time for
different.
the 7 fragments of power to clash and become whole again. Now they will vie for control over the reformed Great One, the being which holds the infinite power of 2 Septarians.
Come, Ordine!
This seems the same. This is Dad.
Right behind you!
Okay, there's Soldats, Millium. Alright, I guess we're doing this fight again.
Hold nothing back. You must face me with all the strength you can bring to bear, all your determination, the entirety of your potential. If you do not, I, Gileath Osborne, will bring all you know to ruin.
I just noticed he has the symbol in his eyes, doesn't he?
You asked for it.
Because his eyes are like half open, it looks like.
I promise I'll fight you with every last fiber of my being.
Alright, let's see. Maybe this will make a difference. I use the speed this time.
The time has come to settle this!
I'm up!
The first thing I'm gonna do is raise our BP.
I appreciate it!
Alright!
I appreciate it! All right!
This is very low efficiency for break, huh? Hey, we didn't get unbalanced this time.
I'm up!
Healing strike! It's down! An opening!
Moving out.
They're down! You're wide open!
All right! Wide open! They're mine!
It's my turn.
My turn.
Darkness, sunder them!
Ah, I was hoping for the impede.
I'm up! Yeah!
Here I go!
It's my turn!
Now!
Let's go, everyone!
Yes!
I hear ya!
Get back!
He's definitely already gotten a little bit less turns, but it wasn't a problem really until he got to the halfway point.
Starball slash! Too easy.
Because after he got to the halfway point, that's also when he did the
Can't escape! Fire!
the S-Craft.
Let's go!
Ha!
I appreciate it!
Moving out.
There! You're wide open!
Let's go!
Too easy.
It's my turn. There!
Moving out.
Darkness, sunder them!
The end is nigh. Burn away in a blaze of glory!
It's my turn!
Get back! Now! Let's go, everyone!
Understood!
I hear ya!
Get back! Starball slash! Too easy.
Here it is.
Now
I'm gonna skip this.
It's my turn! You can't escape! Fire!
Ah,
Too easy.
I was hoping she wouldn't miss
my turn.
due to that. Because I really needed that impede.
My turn.
Darkness, sunder them!
Here I go! There!
Let's go!
I do have to be careful though, because their health are rather low.
I appreciate it!
Yeah, he's really fast now, which is
Let's
good.
go!
Plus, items don't have a high delay.
Yeah. Thanks!
But I expected an unbalance there. Yeah, he's still really fast.
You won't escape. Perish! Too easy.
It's my turn. Spirit!
Evan Flames to me!
Oh, that's gonna suck.
It's my turn!
Yeah, he's still really, really fast.
There!
It's my turn! Eh?
Hopefully this is the last time I'll have to use a Bravestone. Because those are actually very expensive.
Spirit!
Leave it to me. This'll help.
Too easy.
It's my turn! You can't escape! Fire!
Not this time.
Wide open! They're mine!
Let's go!
It's down! Let's go, everyone!
Understood!
Get back!
I do feel like it's helping. I don't feel him getting as many turns in a row.
Moving out.
There! You're wide open!
Let's go!
It's down! An opening!
All right.
There! You're wide open!
I'm up! Charge!
All right! Here's a pick-me-up!
It's my turn!
Let's go, everyone!
It's my turn!
Man.
Too easy.
All right.
Darkness, sunder them!
They're down! You're wide open!
Too easy.
Dang it, there's the turn nonsense I was talking about.
Let's go. Get back! Now!
It hasn't been as frequent, so I do think it helps.
Enlightened domination! Well fought.
Yeah, it was definitely easier this time around. So, speed really helped. But I was right, he just was way too fast.
So this is...
The power of the final rivalry.
Yeah. This is it then.
Instructor! Reen!
They vanished!
Screw the rivalry! Let's go after them!
Ordine, let's fly!
As you command.
Now, Reen, this is where it all ends. There is no turning back for you any longer. You know that, yes?
I do. I'm also aware that my role as the sacrifice was nothing more than a backup plan. Even so, I will put everything I am into this sword.
Reen. Okay, I'm gonna do everything I can too.
Thank you, Milliam.
The 8 leaves 1 blade, and 104 military combat. A clash between swordsmen, and our final act as father and son. Truth be told, I regret never having the opportunity to train you myself.
So far, this is pretty much the same. It's a nice scene, though.
We'll get the chance another time. Someday. Somewhere. But for now, prepare yourself, Gilead Osborne.
Because it says that we opened up a new path,
Then
right?
come.
I didn't just do this for no reason, right?
Schwarzer!
Oh, hey. Okay, yeah. Tread the path to the unknown and watch the normal ending. So they did unlock something. Alright, let's see what's going on. I was told by one of my friends, load your clear save data so that you can view the epilogue. I didn't know anything else, so this is actually nice. There's something else.
The pale darkness!
Something's coming.
I'm so relieved.
Seriously, you always have to make us worry to the very end, don't you?
Crazy bastard pulled it off.
Huh? Is something the matter, Crow? Wait, where's Milliam?
I'm right here.
Oh, don't scare me like that. The Ashen Knight has won. This should put an end to... Milliam? What's wrong?
I had a feeling this would happen.
Huh? What do you mean?
Okay.
Huh, at least
just
that
might
didn't
work.
pop up this time.
What do you think, Valimar? Can you make it?
Yes, all of the powers have converged in me. Breaking through the atmosphere should pose little trouble.
What?
You...
Breaking through the atmosphere?
No! It can't be!
You can't keep it under control any longer, can you?
The curse's true form. The endless malice of Ishmelga, the Ebon Knight.
That's right.
Relinquish it to me. It belongs to me. Your soul, your entire being. Yes. Yes.
So, this is it. The being that ate away at Emperor Drycles and my father. When the Ebon Knight was corrupted by Mouse, its logic system awoke as its own self-conscious entity. Evil personified. It sought to become an almighty being, controlling humanity by spreading its curse. But now, it's been torn from its physical form and brought to our plane. Making this my one and only chance to destroy it for good.
Wait, no! What are you going to do?
There has to be another way! You bastard! Screw you! And screw your bullshit plan too!
Agreed. It's far too early to give up.
Ah.
Father!
His hair changed color.
Does that mean he's back to his old self?
I am. It must be because Ishmelga's hold over me has weakened. Elisa, please forgive me for everything I've done these past 10 years.
Father! It's finally you!
Reen, to the very end, your father never gave up. He knew that the only way to be rid of the Great One was to isolate its essence in our plane. With the blessing bestowed on you by the Holy Beast, you can finish what he started.
You mean the Earthen Prison? So that's what it was for all along.
It would be worth an attempt at the very least. The Great One is nearly complete. We may still have a chance to seal Ishmelga away if we act now. But first, you must remove that which has become entangled in your soul. We will need the strength of all your companions.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Our hearts are with you.
and not just ours. Everyone else is with you too. Every single person in the Empire hoping to reverse the Great Twilight and end this curse.
Let's do it! What do we have to lose?
We believe in you, Reen. So please, don't give up.
I won't. Let's do this, everyone!
I'll analyze the Great Twilight and establish a spiritual network with everyone else. I'll get Rose, Vita, and the others to help too.
Million boost, go! Everyone, please! Connect your hearts to Instructor Reen!
This was the song from Coastal 3, wasn't it?
This light!
I see. They've almost made it.
Elise! Your Highness! Of course. Reen needs us. We have to help him no matter what.
This is...
It's the same spiritual connection Class 7 has!
Yeah. I can feel their presence. It's like they're right here with me.
They must have used their Arcus 2s along with His Highness's artifact to create a wide-range spiritual network. Yep, we reached the final branch.
Hang in there, everyone. You can do it.
Shit! Gonna have to kick this into high gear.
Right. Reen, Ash, we're coming.
We'll lend you our strength too. Schwarzer! It's time you showed us your pride as a swordsman.
If we can only overcome this, we may bring about a future none of us dared to dream of.
All right. Let's do it, everyone.
We'll be there soon, guys. Just you wait.
Long as we're all together, nothing can stand in our way.
Indeed. I shall fight for my lady's future, and for ours as well.
Thomas Lysander, we'll need your assistance if we hope to make it in time.
Of course. I swear it, as the partitioner.
Sounds like now's the time to strike.
Them too.
Rutger. Leanne. I see. When Valimar absorbed the power of your divine knights, your souls came along with them.
Indeed. We've been watching over you through every battle since. Reen, you are the sum of the hopes of many. Now, show us the strength that lies within you.
V's out there counting on you. And all your buddies beside her, too.
Indeed, that is your truest strength, one which each of us lacked. Now is the time for you to use that strength.
Oh right, he did kind of disappear.
And purge that vile, pitiful flame from your soul. What? Drykos, you would dare call me pitiful? I will. He is I, and I am him.
But you are not us.
What is this? Pathetic maggot! Cease your pointless struggle!
8 leaves, 1 blade, 7th form, void.
The light which faces the
Enlightened!
darkness.
Spirit unification!
Nice! I like to hear that. I like that it was spirit unification. Because that's what it was before. But this time it was enlightened.
Rean! You did it! Thank goodness!
No, we're not done yet.
Whoa!
It's Ishmelka's astral form. Separating it from an awakener forced it to materialize in our plane.
And by trapping that form within the Holy Beast's prison, we've allowed it to merge with a tremendous amount of power. But now that it's materialized, we have a chance, however slim, of destroying it for good.
Wait, that crystal? We saw that crystal earlier in the game, at the very beginning. Not the very beginning. In the segment's fragments. Okay, one. Ishmelga Lobe.
Pathetic scum! Be damned! Damned to the furthest reaches of Gehenna!
Its power is staggering.
This is only a fraction of the true might the Great One would possess were it fully reforged. But if we don't stop it soon, it will surely grow strong enough to bring the world to ruin.
This thing's no joke!
We'll just have to deal with it, right here and now.
I'm with you there, but just how do we fight something that huge?
You
What
just
about
do it.
Valimar and Bordine?
Regrettably, my power level is critically low.
It appears the reforging of the Great One has drained us of all our remaining energy.
Damn it! What do we do? Looks like we'll just have to go it alone then.
I beg to differ.
Was that Principal Le Guin? Then that means...
I've established a spirit path connection. We're coming.
I'll use my partitions to provide us some footing.
Wings, take us there! Marcus.
Made it! Sorry to keep you guys waiting.
We've got your back!
We'll be your strength, Class 7.
For the honor of our Lord, and to uphold her will!
We will be the light that illuminates your path!
We've set up a spiritual network from here as well. The Courageous 2 is ready to assist you.
We can provide you backup with our remote orders. Rean, everyone, please! We're all counting on you. Just promise you'll come back safely when it's over.
Sorry,
Claire,
guys.
Lecter.
Don't have the strength to fight, but we can at least help you out with our orders.
Best of luck. Our future is in your hands.
Right!
You will need 3 teams for the International battle. Split the Class 7 members and allies into 3 groups. Reen's team will engage the enemy head on. I wanna know what we've got going on here. Holy. Nice try there. Oh, nice try there. I see that. Okay, and then I want new Class 7 together. I'm surprised they didn't level them up, but they leveled the other guys up that would have been alongside us. Oof, that's a toughie. Honestly, I'd like to put more together. Shoot, I don't want to mess with some of the structure. I don't want to mess with these structures for the most part. That's actually not who I meant to move. Actually, yeah, it was. But not for that group. I feel like you'll be more useful here. Yeah, let's do it. I doubt we can really edit anybody else other than regular Class 7. Like I thought. Wait, can I save here? You can save right there. Oh my gosh, really? Okay. Let me do one final check and make sure the teams are... I'm more concerned about Team C. It should be fine, but... we should have leveled up our guest characters more.
This one's strong. Be careful.
A powerful enemy. Exercise caution.
This one might be worth my time.
You can switch between 3 different teams. You can switch between 3 different teams against Esmeralda. Choose which team suits your current needs best by pressing...
Take that!
Dang it.
It's my turn!
Physical reflex and arch reflex. It's called an aura. Okay. It's
Got it.
Let's go.
It's my turn.
Huh?
Yeah.
If I'm right, this should remove all of that reflect. I don't know if it'll do damage though.
I'm up.
Man, it just put it back. You won't get away with that.
Yeah!
Let's go.
Because now you don't have physical reflect. And I'm going to make sure you know that that's a problem for you.
Ha!
Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form.
First! Second! Third! Fourth! Fifth! Sixth!
As I remove it again.
7! 8 weeks. Luminous Abyss!
My turn. Sneaking mission, start.
My turn.
My turn.
Cheer up, guys! Cherubic smile!
Very well. Prepare yourself. Shatter.
Let's take things down a peg.
There.
I've got you! It's my turn! Take this! Let's get him!
I'll assist. I'm going. Ha! I shall go. Search mode activate. Detailed information obtained.
Protects its model, so it's the core of its model's powers.
I shall go.
My soul is one with my swords. Light! Purge my foes!
So I get it.
Judgment!
If we take these out, they won't be able to use things like physical reflects and art reflects. But they're a fight in and of
Places,
themselves.
everyone. The curtain is drawn.
That's why they say switch to
Let
what
the
you
show
need.
begin. And now, the grand finale. Galaxia Folly! I do hope you enjoyed yourself.
Let's bring out the big guns! Focusing energy. Fire!
Now. Arcus, activate. Yeah!
That's gonna suck for you.
It's down.
I've got you. My turn. Stealth mode. Activate.
An opening. There.
I've got you. Now. Yeah. Now. They're mine.
An opening.
It's one down.
I'll handle this.
Yeah! Lightning, charge me up! Ah!
All right. Time to kick things up a notch. Moving out.
It's my turn.
My turn.
Yeah!
Bring it on! Adamantite formation!
Yeah! It's time to get a little serious.
I was after the CP, not the damage reduction.
Northern Lightning! That make you feel tingly?
Time to paint this town red. Gotcha! Up you go! Not a bad trick, huh? Eat this! It's the last call. Sinners, revelry!
Instant cast arts. Not as surprising as it would have been before, since I've seen it before.
Back at you.
Damn it!
Moving out.
Yeah!
Time to paint this town red. Gotcha! Up you go! Not a bad trick, huh? Eat this! It's the last call. Sinners, revelry!
Here I go.
That Lost Genesis took a lot from her.
I won't let you!
All right.
Take this.
Still not all the way up.
I got your back.
I appreciate it.
I got this.
All right. Here.
Finally.
All right. Let's do this. Blade of Darkness! Cleave my foes!
He doesn't have nearly as great regeneration as Rean does.
Slayer!
It's my turn. Get ready to pounce.
Thanks.
Safe! I got this. Ah! There it is.
He froze the kitty.
It's mine.
Now.
I'll handle this.
Behold, the soul of Arsaid! Now! Radiant Phoenix Blade!
My turn. Got it. Thank you. Got it.
Thanks.
Yes! There!
You could get them off my battlefield now.
Eternally flow. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First. Second. Third. Fourth. Fifth. Sixth. Seventh. 8 leaves. Luminous abyss!
Got it. My turn.
Thanks.
Thank you. Let's go. Sneaking mission, start.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Fight! Golden Aura!
Got it. Ready? Ha! Ha! You're done. It's down.
We're not done yet.
Yes! Arcus activate! Yeah!
Let's go! Roar! Healing strike! Now!
It's mine!
Let's go.
My turn. Yeah! It's down!
An opening!
It's my turn! Arcus, activate!
An opening! Now!
Attack! Let's go! Yeah! It's down!
An opening!
Yeah!
I'll handle this! Now!
Attack! My turn. It's my turn. There!
It's my turn!
Fight! Golden Aura!
It's my turn!
Eternally flowing. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, 8 leaves. Breaking dawn!
I got the critical from it. Alright.
Behold, the soul
This
of
should
Arcade.
be enough.
Now! Radiant Phoenix Blade!
Alright, let's do this. Now! Yoink! Ha! Now, for the big finish! Lethal Crusade! I'm going! Arcus, activate! There!
I guess this should just engulf him. What a fitting way of ending it. Engulfed into nothingness. Another block scene, huh? He's still.
This cannot be! I refuse to accept this! Never! Never!
Accept it! You've lost!
What the? I won't let
I guess
you!
now's the time.
Instructor! Rain! It's okay! I got him!
Milliam!
Huh. Marmites was scanning.
Stay away from me.
Is this...
I only gave you power. The opportunity to grow stronger in strife. What is the source of human prosperity and strength, if not struggle and hardship?
This is the consciousness the Ebonite's logic system gained after being influenced by humanity. It was consumed by malice, manipulated its creators, the gnomes, and spread its curse across the world.
In other words, this thing is humanity's creation. The very concept of strife drove its every act. And for better or for worse, led us to where we are now. War forced us to innovate. Conflict forced us to evolve. In leading us to such power and knowledge, I suppose you're almost like a god.
Exactly. A god with power beyond compare. Become my awakener, and you too can...
Sorry. I'll pass. This is the beginning of a new age. An age ruled by humanity. We're going to accept responsibility for our past, the actions that created you. And by doing so,
he's shaking.
We'll rise to even greater heights. Farewell, Ishmelga. I'm not sure if you even have a soul, but I hope you find your way to Adios.
You've finally done it, Reen.
Yeah. Somehow. To be honest, it feels a little strange talking to you like this. Father and son.
Oh, does it now? Who do you think held you in his arms when you were but an infant? I do believe I'm starting to feel a bit of regret over leaving you all to Teo.
Well, to be fair, I've known him as my dad for quite a bit longer. But I'm glad I was able to learn your true intentions. To meet the real you. There's no doubt in my mind that we're father and son. We kinda share a few of the same tendencies, after all.
Oh, such as our penchant for self-sacrifice, perhaps. I can't argue with you on that point. But unlike me, you still have a long life ahead of you. Don't throw it away for others. Use it to protect them, just as they would you. And most importantly, never give up, no matter what. Surely these lessons were at the core of your master's teachings.
Ah.
In this time of turbulence, become the flashing blade which illuminates the darkness, even if for the briefest moment. I believe you and those comrades whose souls are intertwined with yours are capable of this.
I see. I understand now. All right? I'll take those words to heart.
I'm glad to hear it.
You have to go now, don't you?
I do. My time here has nearly run out. I'll forever be grateful we had this chance to finally meet as father and son.
Yeah. Me too.
As for Millium, Claire, Lecter, and Rufus, my loyal children of blood and iron, please tell them I'm sorry. Now farewell, my dear son.
Goodbye, Dad.
That was a nice little scene. I just looked at the clock. I just realized it was 3 a.m. I'm like, my eyes should have never bulged so wide. I was like, what?
Instructor Reen.
So it's over then?
Yeah.
Guess the Society's making a break for it.
Yes. And it seems the Great Twilight has dissipated as well.
That's not the end of our problems, though.
Right. The Imperial Army and the Mule Mirage forces will likely begin advancing on each other soon.
In fact, Supreme Commander Van Dyke and Lieutenant General Bright may have already taken action.
Reen, your hair!
How about that? It must be a sign I'm free of the curse.
So that means you're no longer the sacrifice.
I'm so relieved. Black hair really does suit you better, Instructor.
You say that, but the silver's so cool.
You're back to normal now.
Good thing, too. I was getting tired of you stealing my look. To see the real you one last time.
That's right.
Now that the Great Twilight's over.
I knew it was coming, but...
Come on now. I told you I was running on borrowed time anyway. So, how about you guys send me off with some smiles this time around?
That goes for me, too.
Millium?
What do you mean?
It's like I said. I was a weapon created just for the rivalries. Now that the ritual's done, I'm fading away with it. So it's time for me to say goodbye.
Millium.
No, please. But why?
Damn it.
This is not a fate you need accept.
What? Falamar? Ordine?
Join me, my siblings.
Let us gather together one final time. Very well.
Understood.
Huh? The Divine Knights?
Perhaps they returned due to the Great One's defeat.
Precisely. It feels as if we are awakened at last from a long, harrowing dream.
The rivalry of the Seven is complete, and the curse of the Great One is no more.
The Ebon Knight has left our ranks, but perhaps that is for the best.
Incredible. Seeing them all together. They're magnificent.
It would seem all the conditions have now been met.
Father! So you were an immortal too, huh?
Yes. I became one as a result of being taken over by the Chief of the Gnomes. I'm so sorry, my dear Elisa. We were finally able to talk for the first time in years. And now I must leave you again. But before I do, allow me to give you a gift, the fruit of my long years of research. Divine Knights, I stand before you now as Chief of the Kin of Earth and implore you. Run the Sacrament Program of Lost Zem, the Septarian of Earth. Rematerialize the sword from its concept form and convert all remaining energy to biomass to create a vessel.
Huh?
What?
Is this...
Precisely, Emma dear. What we're doing now is the very same act the mages sought to perform back in the Dark Ages. Something normally impossible. But now that we have the power of 2 Septarians, even miracles are within our grasp.
I never dreamed I would see the day when this would be possible.
You've impressed me, Black Alberic. No, Franz Reinford.
All I've done is lay the groundwork. Now I need your help.
With pleasure. Divine Knights, I stand before you now as Elder of the Kin of Fire and implore you. Run the Sacrament Program of Arc Rouge, the Septarian of Fire. Stabilize the soul that resides in the sword, and affix the other to its reconstructed vessel.
Right, very well. Understood, course.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. That's all their lines that they always say.
What the?
Their powers are combining.
How is this possible?
The Septarians of Fire and Earth, being used in tandem.
It feels so warm. Unbelievable.
Kia, is this like...
Yeah. It's like a super magnified version of the power I used to heal Shizuku.
What the hell was that? Man, why are you guys trying to upstage me? I was looking forward to making my big dramatic exit even better than last time. What gives? Why are you all staring at me like that? Have I got something on my... But how? I was fading away. I felt it. And my hair, too. My body feels whole again.
Bro. Your complexion. The color of your hair. You look like yourself again.
We did it!
But, Milliam...
She's still... This is a real miracle, huh? But man, I'm so tired all of a sudden. Sorry, just gotta take a little nap.
Hey, Milliam!
It's okay. I think she's just fallen asleep. Being permanently materialized into our world must have taken a lot out of her.
Hey!
Reen! Crow!
Everyone.
Damn, that's some crowd!
I'm glad to see it was a success.
Father!
Valimar, Ordine, you're all...
We have used up the remaining power of the Septarians for one final miracle.
This will be the one and only time such an act will be permitted.
Thanks, partner.
Hold on. If Crow can come back, you should be able to as well, right, Father?
I'm afraid not. The chances of success are higher the less time a person has spent as an immortal. I've been like this for 10 years. This same method would not be able to revive me.
No. My lady.
Franz.
George, it may be too late for me, but you still have a chance to atone. Erebonia will need skilled engineers to rebuild, and I know you can fill that role in my stead.
I'll do you proud.
Sharon, I am deeply grateful for the way you've watched over my family in my absence. I hope that you will continue to care for my wife, daughter, and father-in-law in the future.
Of course. I promise to serve the Reinford family for as long as I'm wanted.
So this is how you choose to leave us, my foolish disciple.
I'm sorry. Please look after yourself, Professor. And my dear Elisa, I'm sorry our time together was so short, but what little we had was the happiest of my life. Please, take care. Tell your mother I love her, and give your grandfather my regards.
I will. Thank you for everything. I love you, Father.
Valimar. Is this goodbye?
Damn. So you guys are really gonna leave after all we've been through together?
Our sole purpose was to contain the power of the Great One.
With said duty fulfilled, our time in this world is over.
Stand tall, my Awakener, son of my former Awakener. And my true friend. It was my privilege to stand by your side through all of your struggles and moments of joy. Machine though I may be, seeing you grow and progress warmed my heart. Reen, I am proud of the man you have become.
It was an honor to have been your Awakener. Thank you for everything, my friend. I'll never forget you.
Crow just gives the signing off signal, like, peace out, man. Nordine's like, yup.
Oh yes, Reen, Eustace, Altina, one more thing. When you find a moment, pay the workshop's biological research wing a visit. Be sure to bring the sword with you. So long.
They really were something else.
They did so much for us.
Yes. And Franz's final words.
It seems everything worked out for the best. I imagine His Excellency would be pleased.
Man, can you believe that guy? Taking the villain role and actually seeing it all the way through to the end. Guess that makes him a better dad to us Ironbloods than I gave him credit for. Maybe, deep down, that's why I never took my shot at getting revenge. Then again, since we survived, we gotta take responsibility for everything he did.
Indeed. Though I imagine you won't face too harsh a sentence. Especially since you still have a promise to keep to Princess Claudia.
What? You're kidding me, right? You RMP guys will catch a little flack, sure. But it's the intelligence division that'll end up with a boot up our at.
Neither of you will be let off so easily. After all, the Empire will need your talents to be rebuilt. Just think of the chaos that will ensue as a result of halting Operation Jormungand so suddenly. Ceasefire negotiations will need to be held. Reparations will need to be made. Lifting the curse will do little on its own. The Empire as we know it may well collapse under the enormity of its sins. Which is why we'll need both the Intelligence Division and the RMP to maintain order.
Well, when you put it like that...
I will be the one to bear the responsibility for His Excellency's actions. It is the best way we can go about quelling the unrest in Erebonia and solving the issue of Crossbell all at once. I can think of no better way for us Ironbloods to honor him.
Understood.
Sheesh, fine.
Farewell, Your Excellency. And thank you for everything.
So long, old man. Keep an eye on me from Gehenna, will ya?
Hey, Princey boy. If you want to take it back, now's your last chance. Looks to me like you kind of just jumped right in without thinking it over. Sure, Ouroboros doesn't turn anyone away, but it's a big decision, you know?
I've already come this far. I may as well see it through. If I stayed in Erebonia, I wouldn't face any consequences. They wouldn't imprison the Crown Prince, after all. At worst, I might be disinherited, and then Alphen or Olivert would need to bear my burdens. As things are, it would be best for me to simply disappear from the Empire. And given recent events, you seem a bit short-staffed at the moment. I think I may be able to assist you. If I were to be accepted as an enforcer, I would have the freedom to do whatever I please, correct? I could use that freedom to finally see the world outside of Erebonia. Just like Olivert.
Wow, guess you actually gave it some thought after all. Glad to see you finally grew a pair. All right then, come with me. We can take the Beowulf. And hey, I can introduce you to Daddy while we're there.
Oh no. God? You're going to introduce me to him? You mean as your... Wait. No, this is Shirley we're talking about. Very well. Lead the way. Farewell, Alphen, Olivert. You as well, Kurt and Reen. Goodbye to all of you.
Ah, I see. He wouldn't face any punishments being Crown Prince. So this was the decision he made. I actually kind of respect that. He wants to atone for everything that he's done, as well as learn like Oliver did. So he wants to follow in some of the footsteps Oliver would have taken in terms
After
of
everything that
bettering
happened,
himself.
Over half a year passed in the blink of an eye. With the end of the Great Twilight, an armistice was declared on the second day of the Great War. Supreme Commander Van Dyke and Lieutenant General Bright worked together to minimize casualties during the negotiations. Meanwhile, the media reported that Emperor Eugen would return to the throne after recovering from his surgery. This was broadcast around the world, in tandem with the declaration that Calvard played no part in the assassination attempt. However, the truth only ended up plunging the Empire into greater turmoil and spurred a storm of criticism from other countries. Amid the chaos, Governor Regnitz stepped in to try to bring the situation under control. He issued the order for Erebonian troops to immediately return to the Empire. Many feared that Calvard might take this opportunity to strike back, but such fears proved to be unfounded. I can only assume it was because Calvard didn't want to take any chances against the far stronger Erebonian army. For the people of Erebonia, it was as if they had woken up from a nightmare. On the other hand, the people of Calvard began to criticize the Empire all the more fiercely. Fortunately, due to the evacuation efforts on the first day of the war, civilian casualties were kept to a minimum. President Rocksmith, nearing the end of his term, made careful efforts to placate his citizens. However, he found himself under serious pressure from the new president-elect and was made to demand astronomical reparations from the Empire. The provisional government in Erebonia, led by Governor Regnitz, was forced to negotiate. As part of the negotiations, he demanded that Calvard pledge to not invade Crossbell. Liberal, Remiferia, and the holy city of Arteria agreed, and jointly mounted pressure on the Republic to keep its troops within its borders. Reparations were eventually made, mostly funded by the Erebonian government, the Imperial family, the Reinford Group, and House Cayenne. As the Imperial army withdrew from Crossbell, discussions began between the Empire and Speaker McDowell. But the Governor-General's personal defense force refused to stand down and took control of the city themselves. Rufus condemned their actions from prison, but they refused to back down, and the threat of a Calvardian invasion began to loom. So, the Crossbell Guardian Force, formerly the Crossbell Military Police, worked with the citizens to devise a solution. And on the day of Arkanseal's star-studded comeback performance, the Governor-General's defense force was quickly subdued by citizen volunteers, and Crossbell was free once more. At the heart of the operation were the officers of the Special Support Section, saving their country yet again.
Right.
While foreign affairs were steadily heading in the right direction, Erebonia's domestic issues showed no signs of stopping. With the news of Chancellor Osborne's death, the nobles he had kept in check scrambled to reclaim their former power. Class warfare broke out once more. And though the Imperial family tried to restore order, rumors of Prince Cedric's role in the Chancellor's warmongering caused their pleas to fall on deaf ears. The Crown Prince's mysterious disappearance only put them in a more difficult position. Just when things seemed their worst, Princess Alphen and the newly returned Prince Olivert engaged the public directly and sincerely. As a result, the Imperial family slowly started to win back the people's trust the continent over. Meanwhile, news of Crossbell's liberation stirred talk of independence in Jirai and North Ambria. Some argued, however, that the 10 years Jirai had spent as an SEZ had bolstered its economy and reduced poverty. The issue is still hotly debated, and those in charge are monitoring the situation carefully for fear of more conflict igniting. Though Chancellor Osborne's right-hand man, Governor-General Rufus Albarea, was apprehended, Majors Lecter Arundel and Claire Revelt managed to avoid arrest. Not only that, but they remained at the Intelligence Division and the RMP, respectively, focusing their efforts on restoring order to their country. That said, both groups lost their position as government organizations and underwent extensive restructuring. The Bracer Guild regained its former status in the Empire, and for the first time in 5 years, all its branches were reopened.
That's nice.
High-ranking bracers from all over the continent helped to combat
Hey, isn't
disorder
that
and unrest within
the
the
Divine
Empire,
Blade?
according to certain classified information from the Guild. Prince Cedric, thought to be missing, had in fact become a member of Ouroboros. There are even rumors that he was made an enforcer, but that remains unverified. Meanwhile, after tirelessly aiding the other great houses, Governor Regnitz, and the Government Accountability Inspectorate for months, Acting Duke Eustace Alborea rejoined his allies for a journey to a certain place. Each of his friends had been busy restoring peace to their country in their own way. But now, with the embers of war finally cooled, they were able to meet once more.
That's that tank we were looking at.
Whoa. A backup OZ-74 unit.
So your dad prepared this, Elisa?
That's right. He must have worked on it in the brief moments when he was himself.
It couldn't have been an easy secret to keep from the Ebon Knight.
Your father was a great man.
Damn right. Can't be easy fooling someone who's in your head.
For real.
It seems like the mana inside is stable.
And it should be easy to work with such a pure soul as hers. We'll be right here to help whenever you're ready.
Go ahead, Eustace.
Come on, man. What are you waiting for? Now, bring out the sword. Right.
Altina, you should help too.
Don't worry. I know it'll turn out just fine.
That's right, Allie. Be brave.
I will.
Nah, he's donned his old jacket.
Everything's stable. This should work.
Adios, please.
Now'd be the time for a miracle. I'm sure we've got one or two left, right?
If you're listening out there, these kids need you.
The sword.
Huh? Where am I? Reen? Tilly? What are you guys doing here? Eustace? What gives? You look like you've seen a ghost. Wait, what happened? Last thing I remember,
William!
You're awake! Whoa, guys! What's gotten into you? Anyone want to tell me what this is all about?
It's kind of a long story.
So much happened while you were asleep.
But before we get to all that...
Welcome back, Milliam.
Alright, I'll let the credits play out. These were some nice images to see. A lot of recognizable faces here. Everybody seems so cheerful. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my sign out now. That is all the time we have for this episode of The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 4. If you liked this episode, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all on my X series.
Ah, I understand now. However, it seems the situation is slightly beyond the scope of our expectations. The seventh Anguis has been lost to us, while the second continues her leave of absence. Though perhaps the biggest surprise is that neither the Stalritter nor McBurn have returned.
Well, old McBurn's finally gone out on a journey of self-discovery. Little too late if you ask me, though. As for the Stalritter, it seems like they've decided to branch off on their own.
That's hardly a cause for concern. The second Anguis is a careful, calculating woman. She's sure to cooperate with the next plan. When she does return, I'm certain McBurn and the Stalritter will follow.
And perhaps even Blue Blanc and Luciola too. Though, I think it's safe to say Kruger's never coming back. That makes her the fourth total dropout after Luve, Joshua, and Ren.
We've gained quite the interesting little pawn in her place, though, wouldn't you say? The magic swelling in his ancient blood is quite something. A promising newcomer if ever we've had one.
I suppose. Though he still knows so little about the world, he might need a babysitter for quite some time.
Regardless, let us leave the enforcers to their own discretion. And take care that you do not follow the same path as the Faceless.
You all seem to hate my predecessor so much. I almost regret not being able to meet him.
Well, you've certainly filled his shoes in terms of personality, at least.
It seems all three of you have gathered.
So, you've arrived.
Welcome, O Grand Master.
Maribel, you have done very well. You oversaw the completion of the Phantasmal Blaze plan and returned safely.
You're too kind. I merely laid the groundwork for the Witch of the Abyss and the Steel Maiden to work their magic. But what of the Septarians of Fire and Earth?
I have confirmed their disappearance from this plane. Unlike the Septarian of Mirage, they haven't vanished entirely. But as they are now, it is nearly impossible for them to fall into human hands once more.
Is that so?
I guess we can say things are still going smoothly then?
Indeed. Our plan continues apace. Vida's searching for a new path, in spite of her continuing faith in me. The heroic death of the proud Leanne Sandlot. McBurn, the former overlord of the Beyond, realizing the truth of his home. And even the departures of Joshua, Ren, and Sharon were all valuable parts of the process.
In short, everything that happens is within your knowledge and by your mercy. To be honest, it's simply incredible. Your very existence is akin to Ars Magna.
No, I am but a shadow. I exist solely to announce the appointed time to the world. The other Anguis may not be present, but I shall make this declaration here and now. The world has escaped the Great Twilight, extending its lifespan ever so slightly. 3 years yet remain, until all returns to primordial nothingness. The third stage of the Orpheus final plan, the Eternal Recurrence plan, begins now.